What's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing? It's your boy Reg in the building. I'm still gonna continue off this CD collection and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I can finish up this shelf right here and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna go down here next. So yeah. So last I stopped at was David Bowie's Station to Station album, which to me hit my favorite studio album he's ever came out with and stuff like that too. Then we got his next album, Low, which came out in 1977. This was like the beginning of the whole Berlin trilogy and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Very dope album. The first half is like all vocal, and then the second half is like pretty much all instrumentals. Speed of Life was dope. What in the World? I love that track. Sound and Vision. I mean, a lot of people said this was his best album too, which you're gonna probably hear that a lot when it comes to David Bowie. In that same year, he dropped Heroes. This came out in 1977 as well. Honestly, this might be my favorite album from the Berlin trilogy, honestly. I feel like this album one has like the most iconic songs, some of the most darkest songs. I love, of course, the title track. Beauty and the Beast was dope. Sense of Doubt was dope. Like this whole fucking album definitely had a more ambient feel out of the whole Berlin trilogy and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Then we have Boys to Men with Cooley High Harmony. This is actually the 1992. This is actually the 91 reissue, and the reason how you can tell this is the reissue because they have End of the Road, and it's so hard to say good. No, that was already on the version, but they had to re-release this for End of the Road and stuff like that too because End of the Road was popular on the Boomerang. It elevated popularity when it was on like the Boomerang soundtrack. So with that being said, they re-released this album because the original version of the album is like I think they're like all in robes and stuff like that too. But yeah, man, this album to me was a very dope album. As y'all can see, this is still sealed up and shit like that too. You know, I love songs like I was dope. Please don't go. Motown Philly was good. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Under Pressure was dope too. End of the Road, that's probably like their signature song. Honestly, classic R&B right here. Then we got their two albums that came out in 1994. Probably my favorite album that they've ever came out with. This album came out when it had songs like "I'll Make Love to You," "On Bended Knee," "Thank You," "Vibin'." This whole fucking album just slaps and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I need to get my hands on Evolution. Then we have the album that they came out with in 2000 when they were on Arista Records. Nathan, Michael, Sean, and Wanye. Yeah, I got this part of a CD lot. You know what I'm saying? I did not like this album. I felt like this is after Motown. I don't know. They were just not the same. I don't know what it was and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's been fucking years since I've really heard this record and stuff like that. So I remember listening to it. I didn't really care too much for it, honestly. Then we have Brand Nubian, One for All. Yes, hip hop classic right here. Grand Puba, Lord Jamar, Sadat X. You know what I'm saying? All fucking dope ass MCs and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? This fucking album was known for songs like fucking Slow Down, Wake Up, Dance to My Ministry. I mean, this is a fucking hip hop classic, you know what I'm saying? I love it. 3 years later, they came out with this album, In God We Trust. This is actually my favorite album from Brand Nubian. I know a lot of people might be surprised because One for All definitely had Grand Puba and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But this one, they definitely went a bit more dark with it. So I feel like Lord Jamar and Sadat held their own with this one and shit like that too, Songs like Allah and Justice, The Travel Jam was dope. Meaning at the 5%, Past the Gap. Like this has some of my favorite Brand Nubian songs ever. Then we have the Branford Marsalis Quartet featuring Terrence Blanchard. This is the More Better Blues soundtrack or the score. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely call this the soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? This one, More Better Blues. We did a review on this not too long ago. Very dope movie. Very underrated Spike Lee joint, if you ask me. I mean, this was known for Gang Star's jazz thing and stuff like that, which honestly, I kind of prefer the video version of that a bit more. The album version was dope too, but still, I mean, I love their version of Say Hey. You know, this definitely had that New York City kind of jazz, the Harlem jazz and stuff like that. I love Mo Better Blues, man. That's like one of my favorite Spike Lee movies he's came out with. Then we got Brandy with the first album, self-titled, that came out in 1994. Very dope album. This is a classic album if you ask me. I mean, you have songs like As Long As You're Here, Best Friend, Broken Hearted, you know what I'm saying, Sunny Day, I Want to Be Down. Like, this is definitely very, very, very dope record and shit like that. I love the album cover too. Then we got Toni Braxton with her first album and stuff like that, self-titled. An unbelievably R&B classic, if you ask me. You know, some of Babyface's best shit came from working with Toni Braxton and stuff like that. 7 whole days and not a word from you. Come on, man. Another sad love song, How Many Ways. You know, I love the R. Kelly remix on that track too. Love Should Have Brought You Home, which that song was originally supposed to have been for Sade. But Sade, she didn't really fuck with it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I love this fucking record and stuff like that. I feel like, honestly, it's either between this one or The Heat. That's my favorite album from her. Her first three I love, though, which brings me to Secrets. This album came out in 1996. So in between this album and, I mean, in between the self-titled and Secret, she was going through like a lot of shit. I mean, she was going through bankruptcy and whatnot, and then her and the Face Records was kind of going. They didn't really have the best. I mean, they were kind of having like creative differences too. Personally, I like this album, but I kind of felt like this was LaFace's way of Mariah and carrying her and stuff like that too. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Especially with like the abundance of ballads, which again, this was a dope. I know a lot of fans love this record. But I don't love it as much as the first or the third one. I mean, I'm tired of Unbreak My Heart. I'm so fucking tired of that song. Let It Flow was good. You're Making Me High. That was a dope track too. Yeah, man. Why Should I Care was pretty good too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Definitely a very dope record and stuff like that too. This album, oh my god, this is one of my favorite R&B albums of that decade, The Heat. Yeah, this probably might be my favorite album she's ever done. Keyword might. He Wasn't Man Enough, Spanish Guitar, Speaking in Tongues, you know, Just Be a Man About It. I mean, this whole fucking album definitely did it. She definitely did a thing with this one and stuff like that too. Very dope album cover too. Like, she always had the illest album covers. Real no cap. Then we got 2005's Libra. This came out when she was on Blackground Records. The same record label the same label that y'all should know. What's her name? Aaliyah's uncle. And he was running that label and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? This album to me is a very, very, very dope record. It does not, I admit, I feel like with a lot of the albums on the Blackground division and stuff like that, it did not get as just due because, for one, it was actually recently put on streaming sometime earlier this year. I think it was earlier this year or like late last year or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna stop being lazy. But yeah, man, this album to me was definitely a banger and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? I love songs like What's Good, Stupid, Supposed to Be, Please, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this whole fucking album, I feel like if this album definitely would have had like a more better and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? It could have definitely been like more promoted more. That's the thing. That's what I'm about to say. It wasn't marketed well and stuff like that too. That's the thing about that album. And then we have what's it? Her 2020s. You know, this is the Spell My Name album. Very dope record and stuff like that too. I mean, you can't go wrong with Toni Braxton, man. She definitely does a thing, you know what I'm saying? She definitely fucking did a thing on this record too, you know what I'm saying? I want to say Babyface also appeared on this record. Babyface. I gotta re-listen to this one and shit like that. You know, shout out to Ashley for hooking me up with a Libra and this album too. This album only came out with like about 9 tracks, like Dance, Fallen, Spell My Name was pretty dope. Yeah, definitely expect some Tony reviews coming in the future and shit. Then we have Memphis. I mean, wrong one, Reggie, wrong one. Brother Lynch Hung, Season of the Sickness, 1995. Oh my fucking god, this is a horrorcore masterpiece right here. You know what I'm saying? Since Halloween is coming up, I should definitely do some more horrorcore reviews. But yeah, this album to me, man, probably a toss up between this one and Loaded. That's my favorite album he's ever done. Songs like Rest in Piss, Cue Ball, Dead Man Walking was pretty good. The thing I like about this record, because he found his sound with this one. Cause I felt like when he did the 24 Deep EP, it was like G-Funk meets horrorcore, if that makes sense. I felt like with this one, the G-Funk was still there, but it was like he had more live instrumentation, which I definitely fucked with and stuff like that too. Then we have fucking Loaded. This came out 1997. I love Brother Lynch Hung, but I don't understand what he has against this record because this run right here, he said he felt like he rushed this album. But I've always felt like this one was another dope record too. This might be my second favorite album. Like, just from the first track alone, Sick Made House. Oh my god, man! I love how dark and grimy that shit was. Situation, Heaters was pretty good. Now, granted, it's been years since I've actually heard these albums. I think the last I've heard of them was probably 2016, 2017. Shout out to Hui for hooking me up with those and stuff like that. So maybe my opinion might have changed on which one I like better. So then I got Chris Brown, The Exclusive. This is his second studio album. Yep. This was like one of the first CDs I've ever gotten, so believe it or not. I actually like this record, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this record definitely was like a nice blend between R&B and pop. You know, Kiss Kiss was on this, Take You Down, Wall to Wall. You know what I'm saying? This was before he beat Rihanna and stuff like that too. So then we got Bobby motherfucking Brown with the Bobby album in 1992. Very good album from Bobby Brown. To me, his last good album, if you ask me. I felt like, I definitely felt like, after this, when he dropped the fucking Forever album, it was not what it was cracked up to be, if you ask me. Yeah, man, this one right here was definitely, like, I also consider this one of the last great New Jack Swing albums, too, and stuff like that, too, you know what I'm saying? If you guys want more info on that, look at the first review I did on the Blackstreet album and stuff like that, Getaway was dope. Pretty Little Girl, Humping Around. That may or may not be my favorite song off this album. I hate to say it, but I've never liked that Something in Common song. It had a nice beat and stuff like I love the beat, but I just I never gelled with that. But I would listen to that song over the fucking My Love off the Whitney album from 2002. The Just Whitney album, excuse me, because he had an album called Whitney in 87, which, okay. Alright, so Foxy Brown, she got with the Il Na Na. This album came out in 1996. This is her debut album. I mean, y'all should know how I feel. This is a fucking classic album. Fucking Raw as Fuck and Get Me Home, Foxy's Bells, The Chase. Y'all already know. Don't play with me. Then we got Broken Silence. This album came out in 2002. This is a third studio album, like 3 years after China Doll, which I'm not the biggest China Doll fan, but I feel like it gets a bit overhated. It's not like the worst thing in the world. and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But this one right here may be my favorite Foxy album and stuff like that. I feel like artistically, this is the best album. Like, oh yeah, I love that track. Fallen was dope. BK Anthem, Run Them. Yeah, man, she went in on this. Like this, that she went in on that fucking track. And unfortunately, that's like her last studio album. That's like a last studio album to date and stuff like that too. You know, I'm just gonna pretty much stop at the E's. I can go all the way up to the E's and stuff like that. But if I'm feeling up to it, I'll just continue it and shit. Cause I just want to show y'all. I don't want to spend too much time on these records and stuff like that. Tevin Campbell, I'm Ready. This album came out in 1993. My favorite Tevin Campbell album. This is the album with like Can We Talk, self-titled track and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He had a song which pretty much was one of the best Prince songs he's ever written at that period and stuff like that. I love Can We Talk, but I'm getting a little bit burnt out from that track. I mean, it's still a classic, but I feel like that Can We Talk challenge kind of ruined it. But yeah, that I'm Ready is probably my favorite album he's ever done next to this one, Back to the World from 1996. Yeah, man, people don't really give Ladder Tevin credit and stuff like that too, because I definitely feel like when he got older, people kind of like fell off from him and shit like that. But this one pretty much has some of my favorite songs. Like the title track alone was dope. I Got It Bad. Could it be? Could it be something? I love that track right there. All my Wiz Khalifa fans, y'all should know about that track too. Oh God, Tisha Campbell, Tisha, 1993. I'm gonna be real. I only got this for YouTube purposes. I never found this album that good. It's like some poor man's Whitney. I love Tisha Campbell as an actress. You know, Martin. You know, House Party and all that shit. But it's no go for me. Capone Noriega, The War Report. Hip hop classic. I don't even need to spend too much time on this album. You know what I'm saying? Top of New York, Channel 10. You know, LA. Come on, this is fucking hip hop classic. You got Capadonna, The Pillage, 1998. Very, very, very dope record. Capadonna is, of course, a Wu-Tang affiliate and whatnot, too. You know what I'm saying? Milk the Cow was dope. Blood on Blood War. Everything is Everything. I love that beat to that shit, too. Like, that album definitely had like a more basement feel to it. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Mariah Carey with Emotions. This is her second studio album. Very, very, very good album, honestly. This is when she was still on her pop bag. I love Emotions. I love Can't Let Go. You're So Cold. I love that intro. I mean, I feel like this album does not get its just due. It's a bit slept on. It has some heat, though. Then we got the Unplugged album, or EP, excuse me, which I personally believe this is like one of probably the first Unplugged projects and stuff like that, too. She did this because people thought that she was lip syncing on a lot of her performances, or this was like, in other words, this was released in the height of the Milli Vanilli scandal. So she pretty much made the whole Unplugged a project and shit too. I love the version of I'll Be There, Vision of Love. I love that version too. Yeah, that one's very hard to come by too. You know, a lot of these early Mariah albums are very hard to come by. Oh Jesus, Music Box. Never really was a big fan of Music Box like that. I'm gonna be real with you. Dream Lover, I'm tired of Dream Lover. I'm tired of Hero. I gotta actually listen to this. When I heard it a while back, I didn't wasn't care for it, but yeah, it's just probably my least favorite of the Tommy Mottola, Mariah and shit. Now, Daydream. This is the album that set it off. You know what I'm saying? This was the album that definitely introduced her to a new audience, like Fantasy, that and the remix, Underneath the Stars. Oh my God, I love that fucking record. You know what I'm saying? Always Be My Baby. We just talked about Jermaine Dupri and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, classic album. That is actually my favorite Mariah Carey album, honestly. And then we got the Butterfly album. No, excuse me. Ooh. Yeah, Butterfly, yeah. This album came out in 1997. Man, this is again, she was definitely still on the hip hop bag with this one right here. Now, like the success of the Fantasy remix, she was embracing the remix culture, doing remixes with like a lot of Bad Boy remixes. Remixes, of course, with Smith and Wesson, Mobb Deep, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not Smith and Wesson. They did shit with Mobb Deep and stuff like that. She was definitely embracing the hip hop culture. It's crazy. I've never done reviews on Mariah albums and stuff. I've done the breakdown, but I think at that time I only had like a few Mariah albums at that time too. So definitely gonna start doing them before the year is over. And we got Glitter. You know what I'm saying? Just to let y'all know, I do have Rainbow and the Emancipation of Mimi somewhere around here. I'm not too sure exactly where it's at, but I do have the CD of that. So if I see it, I'm just gonna slide it in there and stuff like that too. So, oh, I also have I also have the number ones compilation too. So I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. I never seen the movie, but the soundtrack, I fuck would love the soundtrack. This is actually my fourth favorite Mariah album. Yeah, I said it. You know what I'm saying? Very funky and shit like that. Fucking Reflections. All My Life was pretty dope. I love a version of Didn't Mean to Turn You On. I kind of like her version a bit more than Sherelle's. You know what I'm saying? So then we got The Genius of Ray Charles. This album came out in 1959. Very dope album. Probably my favorite album from Ray Charles. I know a lot of people say Modern Sounds of Country, which that was a good record too. But I feel like this one definitely had a bit more of the R&B edge, like Let the Good Times Roll. I mean, that song itself is classic. It Had to Be You, which low-key, when I heard that, it kind of reminds me of Lovecraft County. I don't know what, just that melody, it just had that Lovecraft County feel. I missed that fucking show. Moment of Silence for Lovecraft County. Yeah. Am I Blue? Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying. Yeah, man, this definitely very dope record. He was working with Quincy Jones around this time, and y'all should know about Quincy. Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love. This album came out 2016. Very dope record. Probably my favorite Childish album next to Because the Internet, which I need to get my hands on, but that's like very hard to come by. Yeah, man, songs like fucking Me and Your Mama, Zombies, Riot. I mean, this album just took everything by storm when it was dropped in 2016. Then we got No, This Is Not Escape, y'all. This is George Clinton. Just the Greatest Hits album. This came out 96. This is the Greatest Hits album, like Atomic Dog. Like all his solo shit he did up to that point, you know what I'm saying? The reason why I got it in it, because I got the album, which I'm going to show y'all far down the line, but when I originally got this album, they sent like a J-Lo album or some shit like that, so I kept the case. I think I kept the case or whatever. I don't know why I kept the case, but hey, that's why I just started to get rid of some space with all the other loose CDs and shit like that too, so... Then, of course, we got Club Nouveau, Life, Love, and Pain. This album came out 1986. Very dope record. Some of the earliest beginnings of New Jack Swing, or, that 80s dance. It was up on here, like the cover of Lean On Me. I love that one. Why You Treat Me So Bad. Heavy on My Mind. Very, very, very dope group and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Very underrated. Alright. I'm gonna run by these real quick for y'all, because like I said, I'm doing this like late at night too, so getting a bit tired because it's been a long day, but I took a nap earlier and I can't sleep. So yeah. Alright, Keisha Cole, Just Like You. This album to me, not the biggest Keisha Cole fan. She's not the biggest Keisha Cole fan like that, but this album definitely has some gems. Let It Go was on this run. Should Let You Go was pretty good. Heaven Sent, that was a big song at that time too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty straight album. John Coltrane, you know, Blue Train. Love this fucking record and stuff like that too. This was released in 1960. Yeah, I want to say 1961. I want to say because this is the 1985 reissue of this album when it was first released on CD. I love Locomotion, Moments Notice. You know what I'm saying? Pretty nice early cool jazz right here. You know what I'm saying? Then we got Common, Resurrection. This album came out in '94. Pretty dope album. Not my favorite Common album like a lot of people's, but it has some gems I used to love for a title track. This is the 97 or 96, 97 reissue. And you can tell because the original version has Common Sense, but the reissue just has Common because he had a reggae group called Common Sense that sued him for the rights to the name and shit. So, yeah. Now in 1997, we got One Day It'll Make Sense. I love this fucking album. It's probably my second favorite Common album. You know what I'm saying? I love like Real Nigga Quotes. The Stolen Moments trilogy is iconic. Like dun 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 dun. I love that last beat. Like definitely some of the best storytelling in hip hop. My City, All Night Long was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, very dope record. Like Water for Chocolate. You know, this was 2000. This is like a major label day breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people kind of think it's his first album. No, it's not his first album. This is probably like his fourth album up to this point. Songs like The Light was dope. You know, Sixth Sense. I love that. The Questions. A film called Pimp. I love his chemistry with MC Lyte on that record and stuff too. I felt like MC Lyte definitely did a thing on that record and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? 2005, we got his best album, B. Very dope record, you know what I'm saying? From the intro all the way down to It's Your World, not a weak track. Like this album to me is a hip hop classic. You got Kanye, you got Jay Dilla on this fucking project. Songs like The Food Live, Testify. I mean, yeah, man. Definitely remember hearing like a lot of that shit going up and stuff like that, especially that Go track and Testify. That video was amazing too. Then you have Common, The Dreamer, and The Believer. This came out in 2011. Way better than Universal Mind Control. This is actually not a bad album, honestly. You know what I'm saying? One of his last great albums, because I think anything after this was kind of hit or miss. Nobody's smiling. That has some okay kind of shit too, but yeah. Then we got Compton's Most Wanted, Straight Checking Them. This is the second studio album that they came out with. Very, very, very dope album in my opinion and shit too. You know, this was known for songs like They Still Gafflin, you know, Straight Checking Them, I Don't Dance. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope record. Then we got excuse me, Compton's Most Wanted. You know what I'm saying, with Music to Drive By. This to me is my favorite album that they've ever came out with and stuff like that. You know, this was known for Hood Took Me Under, Duck Sick, Dead Man Don't Tell No Lies. This was released at the height of his beef with DJ Quick too. So a lot of Quick discs were on that. Oh man, Jesus Christ. Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise, you know. Rest in peace to a legend. You know what I'm saying? I need to get my hands on It Takes a Thief. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows him for the song Gangsta's Paradise, but this had other dope shit like Smiling was dope, Too Hot, Cruising, I love that song too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, rest in peace, man. Shit, we're losing a legend day by day. Then we got Cream with Disraeli Gears. One of the best classic rock albums ever. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker. You know what I'm saying? This was known for Sunshine of Your Love, Dancing That Away, Taylor Brave Ulysses, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this one that record was pretty dope. Denzel Curry, Zoo. You know, this album came out 2019. Yeah, this was a very, very dope album. Not as good as the previous one, a TA 13000. Not as good as that one and stuff like that too. But at the same time, I definitely felt like this one he still definitely remained consistent with this one and shit too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Ricky, Automatic, Speedboat, all dope. You know what? I might just stop at the D. Let me see, cause my phone is still in good battery. Yeah, man. I'm trying to also watch. Trying to also watch my fucking battery too and stuff like that too. So, all right. Cypress Hill, self-titled and stuff like that too. You know, this album came out in 1991. Very, 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 very dope album, in my opinion and stuff like that. This album definitely had a lot of dope shit like How I Could Just Kill a Man, He Another Pump, Funky Feel One. Yeah, this one was hot. I like it. Black Sunday. This album came out in 1993. Very, very, very dope record. I don't like it as much as the first and the third album. I know a lot of fans consider this the best of the album. I felt like the last couple of tracks was a bit too filler for me and stuff like that. I like Insane in the Brain. Check out the Wider Beef episode on that and on the origins of that song. I Want to Get High when the shit goes down. I mean, this whole fucking record was amazing. All right, Cypress Hill, Temples of the Boom, my favorite Cypress Hill album ever. This one right here definitely was a very much more darker album. A little Spark Another Hour, Illusions, Boom Beady Bye Bye, Funk Freakers, Real Hip Hop. I mean, strictly hip hop, where they were throwing shots at Everlast or House of Pain, because you know Muggs and House of Pain kind of had a falling out around that time, but they're all cool now and shit. So yeah. Oh, and they also, of course, y'all should know No Rest for the Wicked. They're all going after Ice Cube too. Then they got dropped a 4 album in 1998. This album was pretty dope too. You know what I'm saying? Not as good as the first 3 in my personal opinion, but I definitely feel like this one does not get its just due. I love songs like fucking Riot Starter, Still Magnolia, High Times. I mean, yeah, this one was pretty hot. Okay, I can run by these. You know what? I'm just gonna do the rest of this because I'm kind of getting tired as fuck, and yeah, I can definitely run by these real quick. I know I keep changing my shit too, but like I said, yeah, a lot of these albums definitely have like memories with me and shit too. So, all right, we got fucking Inspector Deck and 7L and Hysteric with Czarface. You know what I'm saying? This album came out in 2013. Very dope album. To me, one of the best works Deck has ever done, in my opinion. This is the best Czarface too. You know what I'm saying? I love songs like Poisonous Darts, It's Raw, Let It Off. You know what I was thinking? I might actually do a review on this album actually one day and stuff. I don't think I've seen anyone actually talk about this. I'm gonna re-listen to this one, but that was a dope record. Then we got Mr. Smooth Man himself, Mr. D'Angelo with Brown Sugar. Yeah, this is the album to me that definitely broke through like the whole neo soul, excuse me, genre and stuff like that. 1995, Must Have Your Collection, Brown Sugar, Shit Damn Motherfucker. I mean, yeah, definitely got to talk about D'Angelo in the future and shit. Then we got the second album, Voodoo. A lot of people said this was his best work. Honestly, man, it's so hard to pick out of the 3 albums. It's not even funny. So stay tuned on that. You know, songs like Untitled, How Does It Feel, Send It On, you know what I'm saying? Fucking Left and Right. Yeah, this one was a very dope record and shit like that too. Yeah, man. After y'all should know the story after that record, he took like a long hiatus. He was going through like a lot of personal issues. And then he came out with the Black Messiah album. This album came out in 2015. No, 2014, excuse me. And what an album this is and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he definitely came back not even missing a step. Sugar Daddy, Ain't That Easy was dope. You know what I'm saying? Betray My Heart, I love that record and shit. Yeah, man. Probably my favorite R&B album of that year too. So, not even a cap, y'all. D Nice, to the rescue. Shout out to Eric for hooking me up with this one. D Nice, y'all should know him from the Boogie Down Productions and stuff like that. Very, very, very dope album. You know what I'm saying? Not as good as his first one in my opinion, but with this one, he was definitely working more closely with the Flavor Unit and shit like that too. So yeah, man, this one was very, very, very dope record and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then we got a Craig David with I'm Born to Do It. Craig David, he's a singer. I want to say he's from Canada and stuff like that too. He had some pretty dope shit, you know what I'm saying? Rendezvous was good, 7 Days was cool, and stuff like that too. Yeah, I might have to re-listen to this one as well. So I could have sworn I heard that record, but nah. The DOC, No One Can Do It Better, dropped in 1989, and again, what an album this is and stuff like that too. It's funky enough. Ooh, careful. It's funky enough, formula. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna wrap this up real soon. The formula was pretty good. Let the bass go. Dun, 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 dun. I love that shit, man. Fucking fire. This is definitely West Coast and Southern hip. Like him being an MC from Texas, Dre doing the production. It's definitely a fucking timeless masterpiece. Then we have the Lynch Mob with Gorillas in the Mist. This album came out in 1992. Very, very, very dope record. You know what I'm saying? Definitely love this. I like this more than Planet of the Apes. You know what I'm saying? I love songs like All in My Nutsack. Dun, dun. I love that. Ain't Got No Class was dope. Lord Have Mercy. I mean, yeah, man. Very, very, very dope record. That's fucking West Coast hip hop at its finest. Then we got the Youngsters. Youngsters right here with No Mercy. Fucking fire album and shit like that too. This album came out in 94. This was the third studio album. Honestly, the Youngsters was probably my favorite kid rappers. They were a group that definitely got better as each album went on. I'm more of a fan of like the last two albums than the first two and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Their music pretty much was very, very, very graphic and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I love songs like fucking Hip Hop Ride, Mad Props, Backstabbers. Yeah, man. I definitely love the fucking Youngsters. Again, first two was okay, but the last two was what was cooking. Das Effects, Dead Serious. Very, very, very dope album. You know what I'm saying? Songs like fucking Mike Checker, They Want Effects, East Coast. It's pretty dope and shit too, you know what I'm saying? Must have your collection. Then we got Miles Davis, King Kinda Blue, 1959. I mean, y'all should know about this shit. Like one of the most acclaimed jazz albums of all time. Love So What, love Blue and Green, love all that shit. You can definitely feel like the calmness of this album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like you just getting off work or you're trying to have like a nice romantic dinner with your lady. That's the album for you. Love the melodies on that shit too. Some of the best jazz musicians took place on working on that record, including, of course, John Coltrane. Then we have 1960 Sketches of Spain. This one right here was again another dope record. You know what I'm saying? I love Will o' the Wisp, and I love that because J. Rue the Damager sampled that shit for the intro Towards the Math and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Solia was pretty good too. Yeah, definitely must have in your collection. And you got In a Silent Way. This album definitely was like the true beginning of his electric period. He kind of flirted around with some of the stuff like beforehand, especially in I think the album, the Miles in the Sky album or whatever. But yeah, this was definitely when he was working closely with like a lot of rock musicians and shit like that too. I mean, this whole album is fucking fire. Yes, I'm loving this shit right here. All right, so just this, and then I'm about to take my ass to bed. Then we have Miles Davis On the Corner. This album came out in 1972. This is the 1993 reissue of this album. Man, this one right here was pretty good. Still on the electric period kind of things. He was experimenting more with funk and whatnot too, you know what I'm saying? He was getting a little funky with this one. I love the title track. New York Girl was dope. Like Satin was pretty good. Few people sampled some of these songs here and there and stuff like that too. So it's all worthwhile and shit, you know. Then the last Davis album I have in my collection is 1986's Tutu. Yo, I love this fucking record. I mean, yeah, I'm a big Miles Davis fan and stuff like that too. But this record right here definitely was a very dope album. I know a lot of his diehard fans, they kind of have mixed feelings with it and stuff like that too. But yeah, he was, and I think at that time too, you know, he was experimenting more with like pop and R&B. Like, of course, he did a cover of Human Nature with Shaka Khan and stuff like that too. But yeah, this one right here was pretty good. It kind of, some of these songs definitely has like a video game kind of feel to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, definitely need to talk about that record one day. De La Soul, yes, De La Soul is for the soul, yes, with 3 Feet High and Rising, fucking fire album, classic album by many, you know what I'm saying, including myself. You know, I have like a good amount of the CDs, but even though like I don't really care too much for streaming, I still find it crazy how this shit's not on streaming after like how many years, but you know, it is what it is and stuff like that. Then the next album we got is De La Soul is Dead. Fucking fire album and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, they went a bit more darker with this one, you know what I'm saying? Songs like a Roller Skin Jamie named Saturday. Fucking shit, what's the name? What's the song? Past the Plugs was dope too. Yeah, man, this album to me, very, very fire. Then we got Blue Mind State. This album came out in 1993. Shit, I love this fucking record. You know what I'm saying? They were definitely a bit more cryptic with some of the lyrics, and like they're a bit more fucking abstractual, and to say the least, and stuff like that too. Yeah, I definitely gotta end this off soon. It's like 4:00 in the morning. But yeah, I love songs like Break of Dawn. I love Long Island Wildin'. I love Patty Duke. Yeah, I love this album. To me was very fire. Stakes is high. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, their best album and stuff. The first without Prince Paul on board and stuff like that, but they still managed to put out solid material, especially when you got Jay Dilla. Doggy Dog was dope. Title track was dope. I mean, hip hop classic if you ask me. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I wish my brother George was here. This album was a very dope record. You know what I'm saying? With this, excuse me, with this album, he definitely was Ice Cube's cousin right here and stuff like that too. You know, songs like Money for Sex, A 1 2 a 1 2, Dr. Bombay. You know what I'm saying? Definitely had his own lane. I like the fact that he stayed in his own lane too. You know what I'm saying? So I fucking love Delta Funky Homo Sapien. Then we got Dead Prez right here. Let's Get Free. Very, very, very dope album. This is a hip hop classic. You know, Behind Enemy, Mind Sex, you know, Discipline, you know what I'm saying, Happiness, all dope and shit. Got Destiny's Child with their first album, you know what I'm saying, self-titled. Yes, young Beyonce and shit, you know what I'm saying, before Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying. This is actually probably my favorite album they've ever done. I love songs like No 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 Part 1, Killing Time, Birthday, probably the most R&B oriented of the whole Destiny's Child discography. Then we got the number ones record. I do have fulfill somewhere too. Some of these are on my sister's albums and shit too, just letting y'all know. So she probably took some of them with her and shit. But yeah. Digable Planets, Blowout Comb, fucking fire album. You know what I'm saying? Their last studio album, Jettin', High and Fly. You know what I'm saying? I love the live instrumentation with this one. I mean, Reaching was pretty good. I like Reaching, but I've always been more of a Black Ego person and stuff like that too. So Digital Underground, rest in peace to Shock G, Sex Packets. This album came out in 1990. Very dope album. And also too, they also have the fucking EP. I want to say that this is an EP and stuff like that released too. So that's pretty dope and shit too. Humpty Dance, you know what I'm saying? Freaks of the Industry, Do What You Like. Very, very, very dope record. Diamond D, Diamond and the Psychotic Neurotics, Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. Oh my God, hip hop classic. I don't even have to waste my time on this one. Sally Got a One-Track Mind, all that fucking shit. Fucking dope. And the last album I'm going to show y'all for this collection, Dipset, Diplomats, Diplomatic Community. Again, another very dope album. Classic. Very dope double disc. My only gripe is this shit. How the hell is niggas supposed to look at the track list with this shit? Ugh. But a real nigga is Ground Zero. Who I am. Fire ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Love it. And that concludes, you know, this episode. Like I said, I really wish I wanted to finish this up, but I'm tired as hell. It's been a long day. I managed to push through this and shit like that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna put this albums all the way back up to my shelf and stuff like that. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.